Hello everyone, Saber of GNA Reviews here, bringing you another Servant Spotlight. That's right, we're live over on Twitch and YouTube. We're going to be doing some Servant Spotlights going forward. We're actually going to be doing another live stream this week. Once this video is up, you should see an announcement for it if you're on the Discord. So if you're around, do feel free to join us for it. We'll be covering the remainder of the Summer Servants. We already did the 5 stars, so now we're doing the 4 stars. Starting off with the first of the batch, and that is Saber Gareth, who is a bit of a hot topic because for as cute as she is, she's a bit, well, let's just talk about her. First off, she's a 4-star Saber, really good HP stat, 13,783, which is a lot. It's an incredible amount for a 4-star. But her attack suffers as a result, only 8,119 attack, which is pitiable. It is almost 3-star level attack. She does have, let's go into her, actually let's take a look at her deck. She does have the typical Saber deck with Quick Arts, Buster, as far as her, and she also has a Buster Noble Phantasm. As far as her internals are concerned, 10.2% star generating rate, and a really strong 0.82% NP charge rate. However, she only has 2 hits on her arts card, 3 hits on her quick, and 4 hits on her buster. She also has 5 hits on her extra card. Her arts card, despite the high NP gain rate, is only alright, slightly above average, because it's only 2 hits, which is really low. But still alright, not stellar, but decent NP gain. And so crit star generating as well. She just has low hits on her cards, which kind of sucks. As for her skills, though, let's take a look. Her first skill is Quick Transformation Rank EX, which is a self buff to her arts and Buster card for 3 turns, between 10 and 20%. It also generates between 10 and 20 crit stars, all of those depending on level. It is noteworthy that it does have a 5-turn cooldown, which is pretty short. Next up, her second skill is Sun Like Gareth, rank B+, which is a targetable Guts, which grants an ally Guts for 1 time, lasting for 3 turns, and reviving them with between 1,000 and 3,000 HP. It also generates crit stars every turn for 3 turns, between 5 and 10, both of those effects depending on level. However, it also grants the Sunlight Battlefield effect for 3 turns, so she can enable Sunlight for herself and others. And then finally, her last skill is a self-Buster card buff, which increases her Buster card effectiveness for 3 turns. It's called Robigus Ironside Red Sword, rank C. It increases her Buster card effectiveness for 3 turns between 20 and 30%. Also charges her NP gauge between 10 and 20%. Both of those effects depending on level. It also grants a unique buff to herself, where whenever she hits an enemy for 3 turns, it inflicts burn to them, which deals 300 burn damage to them every turn for 3 turns. So she is capable of stacking burn on people. Very simple passives. She only has magic resistance rank B+, which is increasing her debuff resist by 18%, and riding rank B, which increases her quick card effectiveness by 8%. For her Noble Phantasm, I should say for her pen skills, normal stuff. Mana loading, extra card damage, and then she has a damage boost against Sabers as well as her unique buff. And then for her Noble Phantasm, she has Lupus Strike Fang, which is an AoE Buster attack that deals damage to all enemies with a damage modifier between 300 and 500%, depending on level. And it also increases her attack for 1 turn, which does activate first between 10 and 30%, depending on overcharge. However, if it's on a Sunlight Battlefield, it further increases her attack between 20 and 40%, also depending on overcharge. For Ascension material requirements, she does need seashells, 6 of them. She also needs 8 octuplet crystals, 24 Night Medals, and 6 Lanugos. For her skills, she's going to need 12 Octuplet Crystals, 12 Seashells, 40 Night Medals, and 20 Giant's Rings. Night Medals are annoying to farm, so she is very hungry for those Night Medals. So keep that in mind if you plan to raise her skills, unlike me. Because Night Medals do not grow on trees, and I'm not spending them on Gareth. So Gareth is kind of a mixed bag. I'm whelmed. Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to put it. I'm whelmed. I really wish she had higher attack. The 8,000 attack is just... Ugh. It's so poor. It's so bad. The really, really low attack, especially on what is an offensive unit. She does have a really good skill set. The fact that she can basically give herself sunlight to enable her own NP buff is really, really strong. It basically turns her NP buff into a 30% attack buff, which does stack with her... Actually, she doesn't have another attack buff. So she actually does have a lot of buffs. She has a mana loading between her first and third skills. It adds up to 50% buster buff. Plus the 30% buff from her NP. A lot of damage steroids. So it does make up a little bit for the low attack, but not enough. She still has really, really low attack. Defensive utility is pretty good. She can target herself with guts and, you know, give herself that extra life. She does generate a lot of crit stars between her first 2 skills, so she can be a bit of a crit star generator. She doesn't have any crit damage buffs though, so she's not the best use case for them. She would have to generate them for someone else if you're using her as a crit buffer. She does have an NP charge. It's 20%, which is alright. Not 30%, which is like the standard. The thing with Gareth is there's always a yes, but. Like, good buffs, but really low attack. Good, you know, crit star generating from her skills, but she has no crit damage buff. Oh, she has a 20% NP charge, but it's not 30%, which would enable her to be a 50% NP charge. You know what I mean? 30% is the threshold you want to farm with. So she's kind of like in this limbo, because she's not as good as Gawain, or definitely not as good as Barghest. She can enable sunlight for the team, which is really nice, but so can Gawain. She just doesn't fit the bill as a limited servant, you know? There's no real reason to roll for her over Barghest or Gawain, who just do her job better if you want like a AoE buster Saber. Yeah, it's sad because I do really like her outfit. I love her swimsuit. I love her character, but there's just really not many uses for her, even as a 4-star. She's just so lacking in so many areas. Again, if she even had just a crit buff, would be really, really nice, because then she could be self-sufficient, generate crit stars for herself, and then get the crit buff, and then deal DPS for her face cards. If her NP charge was 10% more, it'd be really nice, because then she could loop. You know, there's a lot of ifs in her kit. Like she's like 1 or 2 buffs away from being decent, but until she gets those buffs, there's not really a real reason to use her over any other buster, even like Rama, because Rama at least has crit buffs. So yeah, she's just really, really lackluster. If she did not have so many damage buffs in her kit, like the damage buffs are really pushing her, because if she didn't have those damage buffs, she would definitely feel like a 3-star. The real reason you're rolling Gareth is because you have Lancelot and you just want to complete the Knights of the Round or something. But unfortunately, it's just going to be a pass. And the sad thing is, she's on the banner with Proto Merlin. So the weakest 5-star, most situational 5-star of the summer is on a banner with the worst 4-star of this. It's such a skip. It's such a bait banner. This is the definition of a bait banner. You want to skip the hell out of that banner. Yeah, because the other supports, we're gonna get into it actually next stream, but Wu and Edis and even the Valkyries, all really strong servants. It's just that Gareth is kind of like the weak, the bad apple in the bunch. Unfortunate. So yeah, I can't really recommend rolling for her for anyone, actually. Even if you're new and free to play or whatever, just skip this one, skip her banner, skip Proto Merlin's banner for now. Trying to think of a use case where, like, she really needs a buff. She's one of the summer servants who's most in need of a buff. If you do happen to get her because you're rolling for Proto Merlin, I mean, you can pair her with, like, well, you can pair her with Summer Scotty. You can pair her with Summer Scotty, and that'll give her the crit damage buff that she needs, that she doesn't have in her kit, and then she can generate stars for herself, and then do like a shit ton of damage with the crit buff. but that's kind of like, if you're doing that, you're taking like so many extra steps. I mean, yeah, if you're really free to play and you happen to stumble upon Gareth and like it's like you're like, this is your first, 4-star Saber, pair her with Shakespeare or Shengang could be good. Any kind of buster buffer would be nice. Although what she really needs is crit damage, so like Hans would be a great pickup as well for her. Just anyone who can give her crit damage. Caesar, she really needs crit damage to make use of those buffs. At least she's not a quick. At least she's not a quick servant. Correct. However, she's not much of a buster servant, and it doesn't help that 4-star Sabers are really saturated with buster servants. So, man, my rating for her is gonna be a. Listen, it's a rating for gameplay, not for the character. So don't hate too hard, chat or YouTube. It's gonna be a C. It's gonna be a C. I think she's really underwhelming. She almost feels like a 3-star servant to me. D? No. She can get the she can get the C. That's what she can get. She just feels underwhelming. Really, really, really like a 3-star almost. She feels like a high-end 3-star. Like if this was a 3-star, she'd be like a like a B+. This would be a B+, A- 3-star servant. But as she stands, oh man, she's just a C. Unfortunate. There's no real reason to roll on this banner. But hey, if you like Gareth and like you're the Gareth fan and you really like her after Lost Belt 6 especially, and you have a few tickets to throw at the banner maybe, I wish you luck. I really, really wish you luck. Is she better than Saber Lily? Didn't Saber Lily get a buff? She's better than release Saber Lily, I'll give you that.